Hello my sweet friends, Shurma here. A very warm welcome to my channel and I'm so glad you chose to stop by. Today I'm going to share with you how to create the Magenta Rose in one-stroke deco art style using acrylic colors. The materials needed for today's project are all listed over here. So let's begin. In chapter number 1, we shall see how to create the background for the painting. So here I have a few elements with me for creating the note card. The first one is a side folding white card base which is 6 inches by 4 inches in size. The next one is a pink and green embossed piece of paper which is around 5.5 inches by 3.5 inches in size. Next is a black circular paper which is around 2.5 inches in diameter. And lastly, I have a white watercolor paper which is of size 3.5 inches by 3 inches. And I go ahead and place the black circular paper on the top right hand corner of the white piece of paper and draw along with a pencil on the bottom half of the circle. Can you see that pencil line on the white watercolor piece of paper? And that becomes the guide for creating the floral painting on this particular piece of watercolor paper. Now for the next step, I have placed that little piece of white watercolor paper on an absorbent sheet of paper and I've dropped some pink liquid watercolor on it and I'm spraying water over it. I am using a flat brush number 6 just to spread the color all over the paper. So this creates a very dreamy pink background and I leave it to air dry. Now in chapter number 2, I am going to create the Magenta Rose painting in one stroke style on this particular piece of white watercolor paper. So here is the palette. I have permanent rose, deep magenta and white acrylic. I am using a flat brush number 6 and I am loading it with permanent rose and white acrylic. So this is double loading of the brush as far as one stroke style of painting is concerned. So I'm loading the colors well for good results. Next, I go ahead and pick up my flat brush number 4 and I have a bit of permanent rose and a bit of deep magenta on it and I'm trying to create a very loose form of the rose. Next, I go ahead and pick up my flat brush number 6 and remember it is loaded with permanent rose and white. So here I start creating the first layer of the petals of the focal rose. So here is the Magenta Rose in the making. The technique which I am using for creating the Magenta Rose is called one stroke style of painting. Now this is a very popular and interesting decorative painting technique where double and multi-loading of the paintbrush is used to achieve highlights, shadows and color changes in one stroke of the paintbrush. It's an awesome technique and I love it to the core. It makes floral paintings extremely easy, although it takes a while to get used to it, but let me tell you, it is not difficult at all and I can vouch for it because of my own personal experiences. My YouTube friends who are returning to my channel may have realized by now that I'm an ardent lover of roses and I try to paint roses whenever I get the opportunity. And most of my video tutorials also focus on painting the roses. Now, roses are said to be the queen of flowers. We all love and appreciate their beauty, and they send across a strong message of love, possess a heavenly scent, and have breathtaking colors. So many people have expressed beautiful thoughts about it. Like Shakespeare, he said, "A rose by any other name would smell as sweet." Then there's a French proverb which says, "No rose without a thorn." So right. There's one more. Roses do not bloom hurriedly. For beauty, like any masterpiece, they take time to blossom. Anne Bronte said, "But he that dares not grasp the thorn should never crave the rose." And Crystal Woods said, "Real beauty is in the fragility of the petals. A rose that never wilts isn't a rose at all." There is another anonymous quote which says, "When life throws thorns, hunt for roses." So apt, right? That leads us to chapter number 3, creating the foliage. So these are the colors on the palette. I have olive green, deep green, bamboo green, and white acrylic. And I'm using a flat brush number 6 to load it with deep green, bamboo green, and white. So this is triple loading of the brush. And I will blend the colors well. And that will help me to achieve good results, remember? Right. Now before I go on to create the foliage, I have picked up a liner brush and I have deep green on it and a little bit of bamboo and olive as well. And I'm just painting around the petals of the rose. This exercise makes the rose more prominent. Next come the one stroke style of leaves. So here I'm back to the flat brush number 6 and I have olive green, deep green, bamboo and white as and when required on that particular brush. And I'm creating the large leaves using the one stroke style of painting. Now this little piece of paper has hardly any place to create full-fledged leaves, so I'm just trying to fit in some here and there to give an overall view of the foliage. By the way, are you enjoying the process of creating the Magenta Rose and the foliage in one stroke style of painting? Would you like to know more about it? Or maybe you would just like to refresh your one stroke skills? Then I would encourage you to visit my past floral painting videos, and I would be very happy to drop some of the links in the description box below. And you can also click on the I button that appears on the top right hand corner of this particular screen, and that will lead you to a playlist of my one stroke floral painting tutorials. Alright, so here I'm trying to create some small slider leaves and I'm adding more of white to it to help them stand out. Next, I go ahead and pick up my liner brush and I have yellow acrylic on it and I'm creating little dots to create the flower center. Next comes deep green and some more of yellow dots. Alright, so the painted panel is ready. And that leads us to the final chapter, that is assembling the note card. So let's go over the elements for creating the note card. Once again, I have a card base, a black circle, the pink and green embossed paper, and I fussy cut out the floral painting from the panel, and I've also created some extra leaves and buds in case I need them. I also have a sentiment to match the card. Now, when I put all of them together, this is how it looks. Yes, that's a wrap on today's project. Did you enjoy watching me paint the Magenta Rose in one stroke style of painting? Do let me know in the comment box below. I would be waiting to hear from you. Also, if you have any queries or thoughts about the same, please feel free to put them down in the comment box below, and I would be right here to help you with them. Do connect with me on my social media handles, and it would be a great pleasure to be in touch with you. Thank you for all your love and support you show to my channel, and as always, immense thanks for watching till the end. Here are some of my older floral painting video tutorials. You might like them as well. We'll be back very soon with more interesting ones. Till then, stay tuned and bye-bye.